Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and once again I'm coming to you with another range report. And today's range report is on a really cool pistol caliber carbine, but I guess in this configuration it is legally a pistol. This is the Noveske Space Invader. Yeah, a really cool gun with a really cool name. Noveske and other companies like Q really know how to market their guns with really interesting names. But before we get into the things I like and don't like about this gun and tell you about it, I want to thank the people that always make these videos possible. First and foremost is a person that owns this incredibly expensive and awesome gun, and that is my good friend D. He never likes me to use his first name, so I just use his first initials. So thank you so much, D. It's an honor to shoot your guns of your collection. I also want to thank the Patreons who, through their monthly donation and support every month, help keep the lights on around here. So thank you, Patreons. And as always, my primary sponsor for every one of these range reports, because he provides all of the ammunition and thus making this content possible, and that is my good friend Mark from Brownworks. If you're one of my usual viewers, you guys have heard me talk about Brownworks, but if you're new to my channel because you want to check out a review on this really cool gun, you guys need to go over and check out Brownworks. Mark at Brownworks is a master craftsman that can make a wide variety of very high quality grips out of a wide variety of exotic woods and materials. He can make things for guns that other companies ignore or just choose not to. I'm telling you, his craftsmanship is top notch, and so is his customer service. And let's say you're here on this video because you like the Space Invader and like modern sporting rifles, and you're like, I don't need wood grips. Well, he also has a service for you. He can laser engrave magazines, like here we have a PMag with the Texas Gun Vault logo. He can also put these on the AK mags, and as you notice, maybe you have a Noveske, and Noveske has their logo on their magazines. Well, he can do exactly the same thing. Who knows, maybe you have a few of these C product magazines for your Noveske and they're not marked. You can probably send them in to him and he can laser engrave them. So I am putting in pictures of all of his amazing work. He can make grips for things like Colt 1911, CZs, Beretta 92s, just to name a few. So if you're interested, please go check out his website. I will put it as a pinned comment and put it in the description, as well as a discount code for 10% off your first order. So he supports me here at the Texas Gun Vault, and so I ask that you go and support him. And when you contact him, please tell him the Texas Gun Vault sent you. All right, so what is the Noveske Space Invader? Well, it is a 9mm pistol caliber carbine, or as I said, this is actually a pistol because this has the Q style of pistol brace on it, or PDW brace. Now, Noveske is known for making some of the highest quality AR-15s out there on the market. And a lot of you guys are probably saying, that's just a really expensive AR-9. Now, I have built AR-9s and I have things like civilian versions of the Colt SMG, but getting to handle the Space Invader, there's really big differences between this gun and those guns. Yeah, it is direct blowback, and it is kind of like an AR-15, but internally it's actually a little bit different. Not the mechanism for how the bolt locks, because there isn't a locking mechanism, but it does have that Q style of PDW stock rear recoil assembly. And this brace, or if it is SBR, a stock, is also milled into the upper and the lower receiver. It is a really cool design. So a lot of the parts on this are not going to be interchangeable with other standard AR-9s. It's enough away, or a departure away from the standard AR-9, that it truly is a completely different gun. And yes, these are expensive, and I can tell you from just handling it here on the workbench, it definitely seems to be of extremely high quality. So I'm very impressed with it. It is a very robust and well-finished firearm. So that's what this particular gun is. But so let's go over the things that I like and don't like about it. And as always, I like to start off with the positive. So there's a lot about this gun that I really like. The first thing I want to talk about is the magazines. Now, I know every time I review a PCC, people will ask, does it take Glock mags? And for me, if a gun takes Glock mags and it's a PCC, I don't want it. But I know a lot of people do because, well, they have a bunch of Glock mags. But I tell you, Glock mags are not designed for PCCs. They're designed for pistols. And I think there's a huge drawback, not only from the angle, but the fact that it is single feed. Well, this gun does not take Glock mags. It takes the Colt style of SMG mags, which in turn are modified Uzi mags. I find these to be very reliable. They're robust. They get 32 rounds in here. And I like the fact that I think it just looks a lot better being straight. The Glock mags, as I said, are curved just a little bit or angled just a little bit. I really like that. And as well as taking Glock mags, Noveske has done something that no other AR-9 company has ever done, and that is they've actually added a paddle release right here. So very much like an MP5 or maybe kind of like an AK-47. So that allows you to get those magazines out of there really fast. You have the button on the side as well, so you have multiple options. That is really cool and a really interesting design feature. I love that a lot. I really like the color of this gun. Now, I do know that Noveske offers this firearm in many different colors. The finish, I believe, is some type of Cerakote, but it seems to be very, very well put on. I mean, it seems to be thick. I don't see any imperfections with it. It looks absolutely fantastic. Another thing that I think many people overlook when it comes to pistol caliber carbines or these small pistols is the grip. There's a product that Magpul makes that I really like. It's called the K-Grip, and Noveske puts it on these guns. If you notice, it's a little bit shorter, it's a little bit skinnier, it's a little bit smaller, and I think it kind of fits the philosophy of these really small pistol caliber carbines or pistols really well. I love this Q-inspired pistol brace. Now, I actually think this is made by Q, yeah, because it's marked by Q on the back. These are really innovative and really cool. They're very compact when they're compressed, but when they're telescoped out, they give you a very good length of pull. And I think this is as far out as it can be and still be legal with the ATF and still technically be a brace. It's very nice. It feels great. It's solid. I give them a lot of points for that. It's a fantastic, fantastic design. Another thing, I do like the controls of this gun. If you're familiar with AR-15s, you can use the Space Invader because the manual of arms is exactly the same. The only real difference is the safety selector is at a 45 degrees versus a 90 degrees. So depending on your style, maybe you can change that out if you really want. It doesn't bother me either way. Some people are going to like that, some people are not, and many of the controls are ambi as well. So that is also really cool. It does come with a Geisley trigger in it, so you already get a really nice trigger in this gun. And I can tell you, when I get this thing to the range, I can shoot it fast, and you want to shoot it fast as well. And this is something that on other guns I would say is a detraction, but for me it's a positive because it's a pistol caliber carbine, and that is it has no dust cover, and there's no way to put one on there. So it's very much like an MP5 or other type of gun. You don't really need a dust cover on this type of gun. I think it actually gives it a fantastic look. Now let's talk about the things about this gun that I don't like, and there's only two. And the first one is going to be the barrel. Now the barrel actually quality-wise is very nice. I just wish that besides using the 3-lug system here on the front, which you can attach any HK style suppressor to this, I wish that the barrel was also threaded. I like the threaded options. I know that the QD systems are kind of the new thing, but a lot of people are still going to want to run direct thread, and they should offer that. Maybe they do, but this model does not. But I do have the adapters for the 3-lug system, but I know some people don't have that, and having that threaded option would be really nice. And then the other thing I don't like is the disassembly. Now I'm not going to do that in this video. I'm going to make a separate field strip video, which will come out a day later after this video premieres, but I'm going to show you that this gun does not disassemble like an AR-15. It's a little bit trickier, and if you're not super coordinated, it might give you a little bit of trouble. But with all of that said, let's get this awesome gun to the range. I cannot wait to shoot it. So I'm going to load up one of these magazines with like 25 or 30 rounds. I'm going to set the target at 10 yards. I just want to see if this aim point is zeroed in well. We're going to fire. We're going to see what the recoil is like because it's direct blowback. I'm just really excited to get to shoot this thing. I've heard so many awesome things about it. So let's get this thing to the range, and let's just see if it's as fun as I'm hoping it's going to be. Well, as you can see, this gun is not very accurate at all. I'm just kidding. This gun is exceptionally accurate. Man, did it chew out the center of that target. The trigger in this thing is fantastic, which I expect nothing less from Geissele. The recoil on this particular firearm is also really light, especially because it's direct blowback. A lot of times when it comes to AR-9s, they can actually kind of kick very much like an AR-15 because there's no locking system. They work perfectly fine, but compared to a gun like an MP5 or a SIG MPX, you definitely feel the difference. This one's a little bit heavier than those guns, but it's lighter than the standard Colt SMG style, so I really think it has to do a lot with that recoil system that Q designed. It works really, really well. The only issue that I think I may have found is that the ejection is going forward a little bit. It's ejecting more to the 1 or the 2 o'clock position as compared to the 3 or the 4 o'clock position. It's definitely shooting that brass out of there as far and as fast as possible. It's clearing the gun, there's no issue. It's just a little bit weird to have the gun ejecting forward. I don't think that's going to be an issue, but just something that I did want to note after shooting it. All right, so now let's get to what I call the accuracy portion. I know I'm not bench resting it. I'm just going to double the distance on this target, maybe go out to about 25 yards, load up another magazine, and I'm curious if this group is going to open up any. I don't really think it is. This gun is crazy accurate. So let's just see how the gun shoots at a further distance. And I was shooting for the head on that IDPA target, and I thought I did pretty good. The group didn't open up all that much, so I'm really happy with it because I was just shooting it offhand. I also shot this gun a little bit faster in that portion than I normally like to. This trigger is so good, and this gun just wants to run fast. I can only imagine what a machine gun version of this gun must be like. It must be just an absolute joy and pleasure to shoot because this thing just wants to run fast. Wow, it's awesome. Well, the next part of this video, I want to give my son a chance to shoot this. Now, my son rarely comes out to the range with me. He doesn't really seem to be that interested in guns. But of all of my sons, he's the one that does enjoy guns the most because of video games. And I try to encourage this because I got into firearms because of video games when I was younger. I wanted to learn about the guns that I was shooting. And so anytime I can have a gun that he goes, I know what that is because of this video game. Well, like, hey, do you want to go to the range? Because I think this is how you positively promote the Second Amendment. And when he's there, I can teach him about safe firearm handling. So I'm really excited to get him to the range. Now, you're going to notice that he has a lot longer hair than I do, and he wasn't prepared for this, so the hair gets in the way a little bit, but I kept it in there because I think it's a little bit funny. So anyway, here's my son shooting the Space Invader. I think he's really going to like it. So for a novice shooter, I thought he actually did pretty good. We got some work to do, and yeah, well, I should let you know, he's not my biological son, he's my stepson. So he is not gifted with a Texas Gun Vault hairline like I am. But I guess if you're going to be a tactical operator, you're going to have to get that haircut. And so I might have to talk to him about that. Well, now I want to give my wife Becky a shot at shooting this. You guys know she likes to shoot every gun that comes through the Texas Gun Vault. And as I always mention in every one of these PCC videos, she likes pistol caliber carbines. I really think she's going to like this one, and always ask, as always, does it come in pink? But let's find out what she thinks about the Noveske Space Invader. And as you can see, she shot this really well too, so she really liked it. She did comment how much she likes this Magpul K grip. You guys know that her biggest complaint with most guns is the size of the grip and the texture of the grip, and she really liked this. It's aggressive, but not too aggressive, but she especially liked the size. And that's something that I mentioned in the beginning of this video. I think these Magpul K grips are awesome for these PDW style firearms. So she really liked it and truly enjoyed it. So that means a lot to me, because I might want to pick up one of these one day, and it'd be an easier sell to her, because I'd be like, hey, I'm picking up one of those guns, but you liked it. So I can definitely get her approval. Well, the next thing I want to do is have some fun with this. I'm just going to do a mag dump. Who doesn't want to do a mag dump on such a cool firearm? And as I've mentioned before, this gun just wants to run fast. With this Geisley trigger, the caliber it's in, how cool it is, you just shoot it faster than maybe what you're trying to do, because it just wants to run fast. Well, I think I'm going to have a good time. So let me do a 32 round mag dump.
Machine gun. Okay, so I'm going to say, if you jam on this one, and it's not jamming on me, it's the way you do it. And it could be because...
And something that I'm really impressed with when it comes to this gun is when you're shooting it fast, you can be pretty darn accurate. Yeah, it has a little bit more recoil than, let's say, an MP5, but as you saw, I just dumped that mag as fast as I possibly could, and I think every round, with the exception of one, was on that silhouette. I think that's pretty darn good. So you can have fun and be very accurate with it. And I think from a defensive standpoint, this might be a great gun to have in your house as a home defense tool. You get a 9mm cartridge, which a lot of people are going to have a pistol anyway, but you are able to kind of shoulder it when it comes to these braces, and you get exceptional accuracy. But speaking of using it in some type of defensive scenario, I'm going to do the quick magazine change test. I like doing these because I'm not a competition shooter, and if somebody of my shooting expertise and ability can change out mags pretty fast and accurate, well, that means somebody that really trains and does competition shooting can probably do it really, really well. The one thing that I think this gun has over every other gun that I've mentioned is that paddle release down here. Yeah, you can drop it traditionally from up here on that button, but really having this paddle is really nice for stripping that magazine out. And if you're used to guns like MP5s or AK-47s, you can do it with this gun as well. So let's see how fast I can dump this magazine, change it out, and get the gun back in action.
You have to have a very special license. Not anybody. I can't.
Well, this gun is super fast, super accurate, and most importantly, super fun. This is just a great all-around gun. I thought I would like this gun, but this is one of those guns that I reviewed and liked it more than what I was expecting to like it. And I really hate to say it because it's going to cost me some money. I think I really want one. I really want one bad. You guys know I like pistol caliber carbines and short barreled rifles, and this thing might fit the bill for something to add to the collection. Now, this is a pistol with this pistol brace. If I bought one, I would definitely want the SBR version. So either a factory SBR or maybe to buy it and then change it out. But probably going the factory SBR route would be the cheaper route because you wouldn't have to buy the gun with this brace, then buy the stock and change it out. You'd be in some extra hundreds of dollars. You just have to wait for the Form 4 to be approved. And hopefully with those new E-Form 4s, it wouldn't be too fast. So what are my final thoughts on the Noveske Space Invader? Wow. It is one cool, well-built gun. And I know on camera, it doesn't really come across that well, but the finish on this firearm is fantastic. For a painted finish or a Cerakoted finish, it's absolutely beautiful. It appears to be very, very durable. I don't see any wear on it at all. It's gorgeous, and so I really hand it to Noveske for building just one fine and amazing gun. It's solid, it's reliable, it's really fun to shoot, it's extremely accurate, it feels great in my hands. Man, if it was an SBR, it'd be like one of my ultimate sub guns. So, on my star system, how would I rate the Noveske Space Invader? Well, I think I'm going to have to give this one a 5-star review. Yes, I had two things I didn't like about it, as I mentioned, and that's going to be the lack of threading at the front and how it disassembles, but I wouldn't necessarily look at this gun as a go-to-war gun. So both of those things I can definitely look past because everything else about the gun is just fantastic. It's a perfect review. It exceeded my expectations, and that's the qualification for a gun to get 5 out of 5 stars. And so guns that I already have high expectations for have a harder time getting that rating because I already expect so much, and this gun surprised me. It surprised me greatly, and so I'm just blown away by its quality, its fit, its finish, its function. Man, the design is awesome. I love everything that they put into this gun. I want one, and I probably want one in this exact same color. So I'm really jealous of my good friend D who owns this, and this might have to go on my list of wanted guns. So there you go, my range report on the Noveske Space Invader chambered in 9mm. What an awesome subgun. And once again, it takes Colt mags. Yes, not Glock mags. I know some people are gonna hate that about this gun, but I absolutely love it because I like guns that are sophisticated, not ones that are boring. Who wants a Glock mag lower? I know, everyone's gonna say, he needs to have a Glock mag. Colt mags are the way to go in SMGs and PCCs. But we may disagree, but we can still be friends, right? So there you go. Range report, Noveske Space Invader. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.